So it looks like everybody's getting into the act. Right now, with the uncertainty of the WNBA, it has never been as important for the WNBA players to have something else going on. You already know about Caitlin Clark. She just played in the LPGA, turned that out. And that was a Pro-Am event. And everybody started showing up. They didn't have enough tickets. The gallery was crazy for an event nobody was thinking about. Caitlin Clark is playing. All of a sudden, the tickets go through the roof. Angel Reese, you know what the situation is with her. Met Gala. Now she's walking the runway for Victoria's Secrets. A lot of these women, when they step on the court for the WNBA, they are taking a major pay cut. Angel Reese doesn't need to play in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark definitely doesn't need to play in the WNBA. And there's a few others that you could put in that category. Most recently, Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham, now hot girls like Arby's. Her love of Arby's and making a $10 t-shirt goes viral. Now she's on a marketing campaign on Good Morning America, doing her thing, and now she's one of the new it girls for the WNBA. And she's one of the ones that have just gotten into that category where they got so much going on off the court. She's starting to name her price. She's going to be in demand. She's got the look. She's got the smarts. She's got the game. So everything is in the right spots. And she's striking while the iron is hot. Putting it out there. She saw what Angel Reese did. She said, ooh, I would love to do that. I would love to walk Victoria's Secrets. You following in somebody else's footsteps. If Angel Reese paved the way, so be it. You never make the shots you never take. Her appearing on Good Morning America for Arby's was huge. Her situation went viral, wearing a t-shirt, and now she's the #1 spokesperson for steak nuggets. Are you kidding me? But she's getting paid. And it keeps going and going and going. Now she's got a partnership. She's trying out new foods. So now she is a main component in Arby's marketing. So once again, because of the Caitlin Clark effect and everything that's going on, everybody's looking for somebody else. And I said this before, specifically about Caitlin Clark, and everybody was mad because she was getting all of these deals and we've been here too, we was here first, and all that whole petty attitude from the players in the WNBA. And what did I say back then? She can't make all the damn commercials. She can't. So there's going to be some spillover. There's got to be some spillover. Angel Reese is doing her thing. Caitlin Clark is doing her thing. The stud buds are doing their thing. There's room for everybody if you know how to work the system. Sophie Cunningham is doing exactly that. Like I said, she's got the look. She's got the athletic blonde build because she's not popping out the top or anything like that. She's got an athletic build. She's good looking. She can talk for herself. She got a head on her shoulders and she can keep it moving. Plus, she got the attitude, not afraid to fight, all of that type of stuff. That's the perfect combination of what people are looking for, especially because you do have a contingency of people who are tired of the Caitlin Clark conversation, or who are tired of the Angel Reese conversation, or who are just tired of all of the old guard of the WNBA, and they're looking for something fresh. Now, I would not consider Sophie Cunningham part of the old guard, but she ain't new either. She's been in the league for a couple years. She knows how the sausage is made. And again, she is striking while the iron is hot. And she's not stupid. She is putting her best foot forward, and she is letting everybody know what she wants because now she's in a position to do it. And while she's out here entertaining fans with the big bites and the Arby's and the Good Morning America, she's keeping a close watch on a collective bargaining agreement. Now, I thought it was interesting because she said,
we've been having CBA calls. I know, it's actually very intriguing. Like, I love the business side of things. But when you don't know, you don't know. So I thought that if we didn't have a agreement by the 31st, then it was a lockout. But that's not true. So you can, if both sides are continuing to negotiate and trying to come up with something, then you're not in a lockout. But once one side kind of stops or like just meh, that's when the lockout happens.
She's been included in the Zoom calls and the communications coming from the league and their representation, and she's learning a lot from watching the meetings and being involved. And she said it herself. She didn't know that you could get an extension, and she says it for herself. But that's just another situation where the ladies that are players that are not necessarily the reps, that are not always sitting at the table, you better pay attention and find out how this is going down, because this is going to affect your money. And she came out on her podcast and said it. She doesn't know what she's going to be. She made the comment.
Don't ever feel bad for like investing into your like space.
Yeah, Wes, I would agree with you. But then a week and a half later, I got told I was being traded. I did buy all of it, and I love it. And I think the next team I play for, I want a bigger contract, so then I can buy a house and be homey and cozy.
Having enough money to buy her next home so she can be comfy and cozy. And basically what she was saying was, I don't make enough money to be able to do that right now. So the next contract, and she was 100% right. I don't think she was throwing anything out there that didn't nobody know about. She was 100% right. The CBA is currently under negotiation, which means when it gets ratified, when it gets done, the next iteration, she's probably going to get a big bump in pay. So she ain't wrong. She's just putting it out there right now. And basically what she let everybody know that we know there's an extension, and you know how to put it out there. And basically you let it be known that with this extension, the only way it's not going to happen is if the players' reps cancel it. The WNBA owners pulled a chess move on that one, because they put it out there as like, hey, this is in good faith. So if you cancel it, you canceled it. So that kind of puts the pressure on the WNBPA. Not to mention, we still got the same issue with all of the owners of Unrivaled at the negotiating table. That is a conflict of interest, and it's definitely going to come up. They still trying to, I think, in my opinion, bite off a little bit more than they can chew, because they're not going to get it all in this first deal. It's not going to happen. They're going to get a bump in pay, a huge bump in pay, all things considered. Everybody about to walk away with some more scratch. And if they play their cards right, it's not going to be in the first deal. It's going to be in the next one. The problem is everybody at the negotiating table right now, mostly part of that old guard. So they're trying to get their money now. And it's probably not going to work out that way. It's going to be the next iteration. Because if this is a 3 or 4 year deal, 4 years from now, I think the WNBA is going to be solid and solidified and a mainstay. Because the girls that are watching now that are 10, 11, 12 years old are going to be 14, 15, 16, about to go to college. You're going to have a whole generation of girls coming up, looking up to the WNBA and looking up to Caitlin Clark and Sophie and Angel and, Kelsey Mitchell and Fee and Sabrina, all of those players, all of the biggest players right now. You got little girls that are going to be looking up, and they're going to grow up seeing that. That's what starts the next generation. The old guard and the ones that came before, they laid the foundation. But just like anything else, if you've ever seen a building being built, you can't tell me you saw when the foundation was laid. You saw the building when it was unfinished, but 10 or 13 stories up. You didn't sit there and watch them pour the concrete. Nobody does. That's the boring part. That's what the first and second and third gen did. Those first 3 decades, they didn't make any money. Now they making money hand over fist. The problem is they want to just be all inclusive, like we did this. When the reality of the situation is in the last 2 to 3 years, this has started happening. You're going to see more of this. People like Sophie Cunningham, companies are looking for somebody to market their product. And it's going to be Sophie Cunningham. She's striking where the iron is hot. And it's going to be somebody else. Then it's going to be somebody else. Then it's going to be somebody else. It's just going to keep happening. Because like I said, Sophie can't make all the commercials. Angel can't walk all of the runways. Caitlin Clark can't make all of the tournaments. She can't play golf everywhere. So there's room for people to grow. The spillover is bound to happen. And they just got to bide their time and strike when the opportunity is hot.